Defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
And right side, they're going to go option here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. The numbers in last week's ball game for Robinson. 13 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
There were some signs of life from their ground game last week, but overall, just a so-so performance. Everyone knows they can make a slight improvement how they contribute to this aspect of the offense. Lyman can set the...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Throwing. Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And they'll work this down inside the 30. The Cowboys had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. To throw is Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Second down and a run by Robinson. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The second down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. After 1, 7-0 on the ace. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And if you're wondering how quick a quarterback's decision-making needs to be, a next-gen stat says that play took all of 2.8 seconds from beginning to end. A first down throw for Prescott. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky. And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
A first down carry by Elliott. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A Cowboy first down there. Prescott to Gallup. 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. Inside give to Elliott. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. And he's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder, this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away? It could cost them a ball game.
No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. This take it in at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. But the road ahead a little bit more difficult now after that pick six. So dealing with his deficit here, we'll see if he can try to make amends on this drive. 1st and 10. Wentz bringing the Commanders out for 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. How about this? They'll try the option, left side. And he is going to lose yardage here. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wentz, that's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. So the completion good for 6 yards. And 3rd and 8 now. second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Elliott. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And the Commanders are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
Wentz is throw into the hands of McLaurin. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on first is Wentz. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find him.
On Wentz is intercepted yet again. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Oh, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's Gallup. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys will extend their lead here just before halftime. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener that makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your own fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So, sorry, Coach, put a pin in that. We are going to move right on to the third quarter here. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here are the Cowboys to take over, trying to erase the memory of last week when they dropped one to the Minnesota Vikings. They're in the driver's seat right now with the lead. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Prescott. That's into the hands of Tolbert. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. And that'll be caught by Fehoko. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Here's 2nd and 1 now from the 7. They go to Elliott again. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, he's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Now Elliott. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it.
And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. First possession of the second half now for Washington. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Rush coming, and And he's taken down. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. Well, the number one mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third. Back now in Arlington. And on third down, the Cowboys bringing an extra defensive back. Wentz going to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl. When you have 4 in one game, I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
Michael Walker there to bring him down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. He's brought down in the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10. There's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the 4th quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns. And it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on it.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Cowboys start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th. So, Charles, the bad taste from that opening week loss, that's just a memory now. This has been a very strong performance as they score once again.
Yeah, I know it's only week 2, but you're exactly right, because this team felt they let one get away in the opener. And not only were they determined to not let the same thing happen here, they knew that they had to correct a bunch of things. So everything that went wrong in game 1, they took care of business with it in game 2.
Taking it about the 1. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Again, it's Wentz. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Prescott to throw it. Out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. And they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
On 2nd and 11 now, Prescott. He'll find Lamb crossing the formation for the catch. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 29-yard line. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Prescott here to throw. It's caught. Tolbert. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting them in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Fourth down, Prescott. Got his tight end. That's complete. It's Schultz. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go on to.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt. And here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. One final try now for Wentz. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their